Good morning, everyone. We are live from Houston, Texas. This is Thursday, June 28th, and this is show number 48. So happy you're here. A couple people were in the chat room before the show started. It was always nice to see people early in the morning. Good morning, Captain Patty. Good morning, Captain Kristen. I'm so glad you're both here. Wow, it's Thursday. The days just blur by. A friend of mine sent me a text yesterday that said some event was happening in 3 weeks. And I had it in my head that that event was happening in like 3 more months. It's keeps going faster and faster. What are you going to do? I got my attack plan ready. I'm ready to go. Extra things on my attack plan besides my daily chores. I got all my daily chores done already. So I'm very proud of that. And the extra thing I have to do is I have to do some windows. But I'm going to do that after the sun gets much further down, like this evening. Slather myself with mosquito spray and go out and do some windows. It's just better if there's no direct sun on it, right? And I got to get caught up on my laundry because I have no socks left. I don't know where they are. I blame the dogs. The Labradors steal everything. And socks are dangerous because they'll eat them. So, anyway, welcome everybody who's here. If you're looking for the chat room, I've discovered that if you went full screen on your device, it takes away the chat room option. So put your phone or your device back the other way, and the chat should be way at the bottom. I'd love for you to join in and say hello. If this is your first time here, welcome. Hello, Beverly. Nice to see you. If it's your first time here, please feel free to subscribe to the Captain Housekeeper YouTube channel and ring that little notification bell next to the word subscribe. And then you'll get a little ping on your device when I go live, and that'll make it easier for you. You just push I want to watch and you come join the fun. So it's always glad to have as many people here as possible. Anyway, the big news is I'm getting my hair cut today because my hair's not straight. And when you live in the humidity, I just look like a Q-tip eventually. So I need to go get my hair cut when I'm done here. But that's on the other side of Houston, and I have to take a freeway to get there. And you know how much I hate that. Freeways are no fun. And I used to live in Dallas, and the freeways there, I don't know, it seems scarier because they were all over the place, going all different directions. Here in Houston, the freeways are set up in concentric circles. So there's the inner loop, and then there's loop 8 and loop 6, and they go out with some things that crisscross it. So it's easier to navigate. Good morning, Julie. Good to see you. I hope you had an exciting day yesterday. Julie has a fun job. So yeah, I have to go get my hair cut and drive across the city, and they say it might rain this afternoon. So that's, just double the pleasure. Good morning, Pam. It's good to see you, Pam. Pam's in Arizona, where it is the surface of the sun right now. But my pool is still warmer than her pool, so, heated by the sun. It just doesn't cool off at night here at all in the summertime. After the haircut, I get to go to Costco because it's right on the way home, and I realized this morning that school's out for the summer. Now you have that song stuck in your head if you're from my generation. School's out for the summer, so I don't have to worry about driving on the surface roads past all the schools as they're getting out this afternoon, which, as you know, I've said is a nightmare for me in previous episodes. But I'm very excited because you can get big bags of raw cashews there, and I've become totally addicted to this cashew spread that Kristen Omdahl, Kristen's here, right? Kristen's here from the Yarn on the Beach podcast. If you haven't subscribed to Kristen's YouTube channel, next time her name pops up in the chat, click it. I think they're clickable. And go subscribe to her YouTube channel. She has lots of great stuff. But she has a recipe on her website for this vegan cream cheese spread. It's a cashew base and totally addicted. I have to have some at all times on my counter. And it's probiotic. And that's probably what I'm addicted to, is it just makes you feel so good. So I need to go get a Costco-sized bag of raw cashews. The other thing I'm going to get at Costco is, everything's bigger at Costco. You have to buy big amounts of it. And remember I was going to do a little tips and tricks section on how to freshen your house. And one of the main ingredients for that is baking soda. And you can get baking soda really in big containers at the warehouse type stores. So I also need some white vinegar, and it's much cheaper there too. So I'm going to get some white vinegar and a big box of baking soda so that I can put together that little tips and tricks video. Essentially, I'll give you a preview. Essentially, baking soda soaks up odors on what you sprinkle it on. So you can put it in your cat box, or you can toss it in your carpet before you vacuum. And it'll actually freshen the inside of your vacuum too. And vinegar freshens the air. It takes the air, the odor molecules are floating around in the air, and it traps them in the vinegar. So lots of vinegar, white vinegar, the cheap stuff, and lots of baking soda if you need to freshen up your house. More on that later. I saw, hey, Stitching Out Loud's here. Hey, Stitching Out Loud. Missed you yesterday. Glad you're here. Patty asked, does it work on paint fumes? And I actually think it does, Patty. The main thing is you need to dispose of the vinegar so that nobody accidentally ingests it, because it's actually pulling the molecules out of the air and trapping them in the vinegar. So I would give it a shot. All you got to do is put a bowl of it out. Put a bowl of, put it high enough so if you have any rugrats around, two-legged or four-legged, you don't want them getting in the vinegar. But yeah, it should just work overnight. After overnight, you need to dump it out and put fresh out. But it's always worked for me with lots of different things. So, Stitching Out Loud asks, is there a difference between cleaning vinegar and white vinegar? And I would say probably no. I've never heard the term cleaning vinegar, but whenever you go to clean with vinegar, you use white vinegar because it doesn't have, it's just pure vinegar. It doesn't have anything else in it. And it's the cheapest too. So you can get giant jugs of it for just a couple bucks. So anyway, yeah, Costco, I'm very excited because I don't get to go there very much anymore. I used to go to a different Costco, and I went every week, and it was kind of like a ritual, and everyone knew me, I knew their names. It was kind of like a little cult-like experience. But between me and that other location, they've built so much. It's built up. It used to take me about 15 minutes to get there, and now it takes minimum 40 minutes to drive to that other one. So now this one that I go to is out of freeway. Freeways and Drew don't mix. Julie says, I don't like my house smelling like pickles. Well, I don't like it either, Julie. But vinegar won't do that because you're keeping it in a bowl and it's absorbing odors, and you toss it after overnight. So it's not going to add, you wouldn't want to splash that vinegar into any, like the carpets and stuff, because then it will soak it up, make it smell like pickles. And besides, Julie, pickles have dill in them. Don't put dill in your cleaning vinegar. Pickle juice is very good for you. I've been reading about that. Patty says, good to know. Hubs is painting with the most awful smelling paint. Yeah, I have a friend who's allergic to latex, and that's one of those allergies that she came over to visit me a couple years ago. The driveway, she had a reaction to the banana tree. Bananas are latex. And so she had a reaction just to the banana grove near my driveway. It was amazing. So anyway, she turned me on. There are some latex-free paints out there that don't have any fumes. So if anybody's real sensitive to that, look for it at your local home supply store. Julie said you missed that part. She was on the phone. Focus on my show, Julie. You need to get your priorities in line. Work? Come on. Anyway, last night I was so excited, and you're the only ones I can tell how excited I am about these things because everyone else just backs away out of the room. But I spatchcocked a chicken last night, and it was so good. It was so delicious. I've done so many chickens that way, and I'm always still surprised at how good it comes out. Spatchcocking, if you're unfamiliar with the term, it sounds German. I don't know the origin. But spatchcocking a chicken is when you take the whole chicken and you flip it over, and with real sharp kitchen shears you cut out the backbone, flip it back over, and you push on the breastbone until it snaps. It's disgusting, but the results are worth it. That it's the sound. Anyway, you push it until it cracks, and then what you've done is you've made all the chicken all the same thickness, whether it's the breast or the thighs or the legs, they're all the same thickness, so it all cooks at the same rate, at the same speed, and then you cook it really on like at 425, a higher temperature, and it cooks really fast. You know, you do a whole chicken and it only takes an hour. In fact, I do 2 chickens sometimes just to have leftovers. It still only takes an hour, and it's perfectly cooked, and it's so juicy. My mouth's watered. Oh, I knew I was going to talk about it today, so in the show description, I threw a link right at the top if you want to check it out. And it's a link to my website, my personal website, juimborski.com. And it's a Spatchcock 101. It's a tutorial on how to do what I just said. But in that tutorial, what I do is I take little red potatoes and I chop them in half, and I put them face down on the cookie sheet. And then I put the chickens on top of that, spread out, so the potatoes cook with all the yummy chicken juices. And it's so delicious. But I didn't have any potatoes last night, so I took some yams and I cut them about 2 inches thick in rings, and I put that with the chicken on top of it. Came out so delicious. I can't even tell you. I have leftovers for tonight. Hey, Maggie's here. Hello, Maggie. Maggie's the one from Heirloom Academy of Healing Arts. Maggie says, I really need to do that to a chicken sometime. Surprised that I haven't yet. Yeah, and if you need just a quick refresher, Maggie, just boogie on over to my website, and it kind of gives the little details with some pictures, and also like the temperature to cook it at, etc. It's really worth it. You know, my sister Deborah got into this also a couple years ago once I started spatchcocking things, and we spatchcocked our turkeys at Thanksgiving that year, and it came out so good. It took like an hour and 10 minutes. It came out, and then instead of those potatoes on the bottom, I put the stuffing mix on the cookie sheet and cooked the turkey right on top of the stuffing, and the stuffing soaked up all the juices as it cooked. It was so good. I like to eat. I really like to eat a lot. It's a thing. Stitching Out Loud says, I make my boyfriend do it so I don't experience that cracking noise. I get that, Stitching Out Loud, because it's disturbing, but it's brief. Yeah, you work out some aggression. Better on the dead chicken than in other places. Anyway, I got my tea. Yummy green tea with slices of ginger in it. Thank you, Kristen. Kristen, she drinks that on her podcast, and it always sounded so good, so I gave it a shot, and it's absolutely delicious. So, yeah, spatchcocking was a success. Thumbs up. So, anyway, I didn't get a chance to put together the tips and tricks for freshening your house yet, but I need to go get those supplies, so I'm going to go do that now. 8 people are here, 6 thumbs up. 2 people need to push that thumbs up button, please. I'm shameless, I know, but I need those likes. And hey, and if you know somebody who hasn't heard of the Captain Housekeeper show, you know, invite them to come to the show, because I really would love to see as many people here as possible. Thank you. Maggie says, of course I woke up in the middle of the night and thought of something to ask you, but now I can't remember it. Oh, Maggie, I know you wake up and think of me all the time, but you should write these things down. Yeah, but seriously, if you think of a question, if you're watching this in the future, if you didn't catch it live, go ahead and leave a comment with your question, and I read all the comments, and I promise I'll answer them on a future show. I love answering questions. I have this vast trivial knowledge of unusable trivia, and I like to share it with everybody. Pam, just because you're in charge of your house doesn't mean you have to do everything, Pam. Quit doing everything. I'm begging you. I'm talking to you, Stitched Out Loud. And I had it on my schedule to go too, and I forgot about it. That was a couple years ago. We could have seen each other. Anyway, so say it with me, everyone. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, see you tomorrow with much less hair. Bye. Love you.